So we are live again. Who would like to give a recap?
Traveling up the river, near the river, and then we get into some weird fucking territory where all the trees are fucked up. This is the kind of recap you want, right?
Yep.
And the animals.
Yep. It says here that your shit's all fucked up, and
we
Don't
start.
Don't forget the taint. There's definitely a taint involved in this recap.
Oh yes,
100% tainted.
so much taint.
Taint everywhere.
All the taint.
Right.
Tainted black.
That's how Teal feels.
This is the taint of the continent.
If you look at the world map,
you are
can kind
hovering around the giant black hole
Yeah.
near the taint of the continent.
it's like it was meant to be.
Oh, great! Now I got to put a taint of my world in my game somewhere. The all-consuming black hole.
There was actually a taint in my last session, so this is perfect. I am officially keeping in line with what's cool.
The water's all jacked up too. Kill a bunch of fucked up monsters, animals. They basically become monsters.
Yeah,
Some
they became twisted by the this black necrotic energy, which we learned is of the void, which is a dream that at least Teal and I believe the rest of the party have had. We made our way up the river, and we came upon the source of the corruption, which was a giant black glossy, glass-like sphere.
Well, before that, apparently Aurelia had, in some previous instance, really pissed off a harpy because they were just all over Aurelia.
Like, this is all just fallout from that card she drew. All these winged creatures have their heart set on killing her.
Bullshit. Don't be blaming everything on the card now. It's bullshit.
The cards are mysteriously powerful and completely changing or altering. So we get to the glassy sphere, and the water running through it, we can see it become fouled, and before it is clear. At the sphere, there is a woman and a few party sitting there who looks like a cleric of some sort. She was sitting in thought, and when we approached, she introduced herself as a cleric of Moreyn, and said that she mentioned her sect of Moreyn, which isn't one that we necessarily heard of, but that's not an uncommon thing. An uncommon thing with followers of Moreyn. We tried. Lucia Rossi was attempting to convince her to let us in to like return, like go find her comrades who went in, and she was expecting them to come out. She said she was concentrating.
For a second, I thought Tony's daughter was running laps.
She is. She is. That's why I turned it off.
Wow, COVID has really affected us all.
She was concentrating on a spell to keep her comrades alive. We offered to go in. Well, Lucia Rossi offered to go in. Tihol would never do such a thing. And she said that
Now
the
she
magic
sees herself.
wouldn't work on us. So he was Lucius was really pushing and insisting on helping.
Well, not only that, but she was also really insisting that we just turn around and leave
Yeah.
because they'll be back in a few weeks.
Yeah. Yeah, she was really like, she wasn't keen on us being there. And then she got kind of angered and then insisted we leave. So we spent, we were going to stay in camp, but we angered her so that she said we should probably make our own camp. So we made our own camp on the other side of the fire. And Aurelia was still on friendly terms, and didn't insult her. So she was able to kind of stay as long as she wanted by the fire. She tried to, after her comrades never came out, she went to go rest, and at some point she tried, started just talking to Aurelia to see if she can convert her over to not Moreyn, who she followed, but the fifth god, which had multiple names, one of which was Tharizdun. After Aurelia refused politely, she bristled and apologized for having to do what she had to do, and started, and her and her comrades that were there were outside, were going to start attacking. They had like this black veiny kind of,
Right.
this black veiny appearance.
So just two things. One, Aurelia at one point did try to talk to some of the mangled animals nearby, which led to a little bit of a fight because they're all insane.
Yes.
And this cleric did join in to help a little bit. She healed one of you who got injured. Actually, I forget which one. So she used up a couple spell slots in the course of that fight. Also, she said she was an Aasimar, which Lucirosi was able to verify using his divine sense. What she didn't say was that she's a fallen Aasimar, which she revealed in her conversation with Aurelia at the end when everybody else was off asleep. And everyone can roll initiative.
Oh boy.
The people who are asleep, though, are still asleep. So
I can't click on my character.
that's true.
You can drag.
It doesn't really matter until you guys are awake anyway. So Aurelia, however, should.
I didn't click on my character first. Crap.
Should I perhaps roll something for Kepri? Maybe Kepri herself can like notice something and wake me sooner.
I would assume. I mean, Kepri also has to sleep, so I assume that Aurelia.
She has her own perceptions. I don't know.
Yeah,
I guess we'll see.
there may well be perception checks. What was your initiative, Aurelia?
11.
I guess my passive perception while asleep goes back down to 14.
So Teal is still asleep and Sarius is asleep. Aurelia, I forgot last time. What kind of save is it? Let's see. She transformed into, she showed her fallen nature, so you have to make some sort of save.
Or be frightened. Am I immune to that or no?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
Charisma save, so you'll probably make it. But the DC's impressive.
Okay. I just didn't know since I could do it if I was immune. I don't know.
So-
Do I have I don't know if I had
I
advantage
think
on
you
that.
do have. I don't know if it would apply for this, but you have a counter charm ability. Would that work against fright?
I mean, it uses your reaction, I believe, and it doesn't normally work against fright, but counter charm is kind of practically useless. So I kind of hate counter charm because you've basically got to start playing music to do
Oh
virtually nothing.
yeah. Okay.
Oh, it
But if
does advantage on saving throws against being frightened or charmed. But it requires an action.
Right.
Oh, geez.
So do you want to use an action point or do you want to be frightened?
Frightened just means I can't go attack her, right?
No, it doesn't mean that. It means that you have, what does it mean? Where's the condition thing?
Well, you can't move closer to the source of your fear, and you have disadvantage on attack rolls.
And ability checks.
And ability
Yeah.
checks while they're visible.
Right.
So it's disadvantage on attacking anybody, but unless you draw a sword for the first time ever, you never make attack rolls anyway. But ability checks, you make those all the time.
Is it every? Yeah. But it only but it doesn't last very long.
It's until the end of her next turn.
Right. So. Okay, sure. I'm frightened of her.
Okay. So, but it's your turn, and she appears to be. She hasn't officially started casting a spell yet, but she's clearly getting ready to cast a spell.
So she's just not showing off for me, huh? I guess not. Okay. What to do? Oh, wait a second. That creates a really loud. So yeah, if I was to try to hit her with a weapon, I'd have disadvantage, correct?
Yep.
But if I try to hit her with Thunder Wave, that wouldn't be disadvantage. And it's really loud, isn't it?
Yep.
Right.
Good. So it's reliable.
Just want a door to appear behind her, just so you can continue thunder waving people through doors.
Yeah, Thunderwave, Dissonant Whispers, and Eldritch Blast are your thing.
All right, it's time for Thunder Wave then. I'll hit her with that.
Ooh, nice. Oh.
She has wait a second. Hold on. No, that's not it. No. So, actually, I'm within 5 feet of her, and that was technically a saving throw, right? But
Yes.
but is her transformation considered a spell? No.
No, transformation is not a spell.
Okay.
Do you have Mage Slayer?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Well, that
Uh,
makes sense with your hatred of Mordenkainen.
okay. Yeah, so she's not moved, but she just takes half damage then.
Okay.
And it's
So
super
before
loud.
she goes, her minions go sort of running off towards the tents, spreading out as they go. One of them, you can see the blackness in their veins is sort of beginning to expand. It's modeling their skin, and one of them yells, "You said this would be painless! This isn't painless, this hurts!" And as they run, you see one of them just falls over and begins to break down into just a black ooze. And one by one, they all begin to fall and turn into black oozes.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Do we
probably
get
not a
any
good
kind
thing.
of check
Yeah,
to
and-
wake up
and-
from the Thunderwave? And
Yeah,
from their screaming?
everybody can make me a perception check at disadvantage, but the DC's low. In fact, I'll just say Zarius is probably just going to make it no matter what.
Oh,
Lucerosi's still recovering from all of that exhaustion.
Teal is apparently pretty tired too.
Jesus Christ.
I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna use an action point to re-roll that.
I'm not.
Wow. Covers a medium check anyway.
Just finding one little guy. So Aurelia, you would see that these people, basically all four of them, turn into these black puddles.
Okay.
That was
Super.
their turn, basically.
Okay.
And then
Oh,
the cleric in front of you begins casting a spell. So what do you want to do with your mage slayer?
So I guess as a reaction, I can try to hit him with a melee weapon.
Mm-hmm. I actually forget what mage slayer is, so you would have to tell me, or I'd have to look it up.
Creature within you
damage.
you can use your action to make a melee attack. So I would just ask, since like I think the dagger is the only thing, but I think it would make more sense for Aurelia to reach down and grab that stupid copper scepter she's got and try to hit her with it like a club. So I don't know how you want to do that. Like it would be just like a strength attack or something.
So the copper scepter, I don't even remember it. Is it just a decorative item or is it magical?
It's not magical. It's just like something we got in like some kind of treasure or some shit.
Okay, so I would let you use it as a club once, but because it's copper, so
Yeah,
it's a D6 damage. After you hit with it once, it's gonna be basically bent, and you're gonna have to.
Yeah, that's
fix it.
fine. Yeah, that's fine. I think it's more of the effect.
Yeah, he did not give you guys.
But that would be a hit, right? So I'll probably miss a couple, 3-4 times. But
I mean, you're proficient with clubs, so I assume you get your proficiency bonus.
okay, but it's at disadvantage, right?
Yeah, because you're frightened. And she has her shield and is armored, so.
Okay. So
We'll be fine.
16.
We got
Hold
this.
on. Oh, a natural 1.
At least
Okay.
it's not my game, and you can't potentially die.
Exactly.
Right. So the natural one misses, but I don't have Mike's wacky rules. And you
can see.
watch as she reaches out her hand, there's a beam of blackness just sort of flies up into the air and begins to form into a bubble of darkness 60 feet in radius behind you. And it closes over Aurelia as well. Uh-oh. I just lost my giant bubble of darkness.
Okay, she wanted the right.
Undo. Control Z.
So the people who are blind are still blind. And that's why I just blinded everyone before the start of the fight. To save a little bit of time. So Aurelia, you can't see through this, even with your dark vision. It doesn't penetrate.
Okay.
It doesn't penetrate the taint.
Right.
What about
The
okay,
taint
so we
is
can't.
growing even
How did
larger.
it penetrated?
Very carefully.
There's no hole in the tank.
I will show we switch to the screen view so that you can at least see something. Not much though. Not much to see. Wait, that's the wrong screen. Yeah, not really much to see. No one on the screen currently has vision because you're all within the area of this thing.
This bitch a warlock? How's she gonna see?
Uh,
Or sorcerer?
Yeah, well, I mean, you're not even aware. As you wake up and Kepri wakes up, and T-Hole wakes up, and Lucirosi is just too tired. Lucirosi is just asleep.
You just hear.
You realize, right? Zarius may not realize immediately, but the rest of you realize, hey, I can't see through this thing. Zarius is used to darkness,
Not
but
being
even
able
when
to
you
see
take
him.
out your torch, you realize this must be some sort of magical darkness. Hold on.
Already.
But it's not actually your turn yet.
Yep.
Would we have gotten a full rest, or this be like?
We got a short rest. We didn't get the full rest.
It's fine. I didn't use anything this day, so.
I forgot to roll initiative for Nimrod. So he can also see.
Well, he's awake, right?
Right. He also can't see. So that was her turn. T-Hole, you are now awake, but this is essentially a surprise round because you're figuring out what's going on. And to make a save, I just have to figure out where the save is. Because this is the effect that hits. So make me a wisdom saving throw.
Ooh.
Yes. Oh, okay. I was looking at something.
Damn. Yeah, we dead.
So that did not make it. So
I'm
you
gonna
begin-
I'm gonna use my
Crown.
Crown of the Peaceful Mind to auto make it.
So you make it then. You take half the 43, so 21 damage. As you hear these whispers in the darkness around you. Nimrod also has to make a save.
Oh
That's
damn.
the wrong one. Yeah, that's not Nimrod's save though.
You know what would be really helpful in all this? Sorcery.
You sure? Because you needed a light spell of 8th level or lower or higher. Or you need a 9th level.
Sorcery let me see in magical darkness as well.
Yep.
That would be handy.
Yeah.
I was going to cast Daylight.
And he takes.
I mean, I Zarius would. Just because I see that doesn't mean Zarius would know.
He takes slightly less damage, but still a lot. Zarius, you also have to make a save.
So Luciorosi's not on the initiative.
What did you roll?
8.
Aurelia, make me a wisdom save.
So I don't get an action or anything.
This is the surprise round where you've just woken up. Do you want to use an action point?
No, I'll take 30 damage. I'll take it.
That's actually Zarius's.
That was mine.
Oh,
I'm just
no.
re-rolling for everyone.
Oh, okay.
Actually, how far was T-Hole away from me? Because if he was within 10 feet, he would have
Are you
saved with
conscious?
Right. T-hole, that's true. Everybody should have gotten Zarius's bonus because I assumed you set up this tents to all be within. Does your thing require you be awake?
I'm
Like
looking at
conscious?
it right now.
I hadn't thought about that.
I must be conscious, yeah.
Yeah, you got to be conscious
Okay.
for that.
Okay.
But
So
I decided that Zarius and T-hole would have to be in one tent because no one else would want to share a tent with Nimrod.
um, could we still like try and wake everybody up? Or, try and
Yeah,
alarm
I assume
everybody?
I would say that so the only person asleep is Lucia Rossi. And when his turn comes around, I'd say he'd wake up just from the damage.
Okay.
So, but Aurelia, you take that damage and it's your turn.
Okay. So I can move, right?
Yep.
All right. I'm
But
going
you
to use.
can't move. You can't. Now the good news is her turn has now passed, so the fright thing is over. And you can you're sort of aware from the way it's spread out in the air over you, like a burst of darkness, that you must be at the edge of it. But she's probably right in front of you still.
Okay. I'm going to use my action point to transform to my fallen Azamar. We have 2, right? Action points? No.
Yep.
Okay. That would be my action. So, well, I guess for my movement, since I have wings, I'm just going to fly out of there. I'm going to go like directly south, like straight down, because I know she's like right in front of me.
Do fallen Azamar have wings? The ability to fly?
They do not normally, but she picked that up somewhere.
Okay. Got it.
She hasn't really talked about where that happened. So where do you want to move to? Assuming that you're sort of in proximity of this fire, like here-ish.
I would move. I don't know. You saw. I'm moving down that way.
Okay, so when you get to here, let me turn your sight back on. So when you get to here, you are basically visible to her. So if you move a step further, she's going to hit you with her, possibly with her flaming mace.
But can I just go up?
Well, what was your plan? Was your plan to fly like high into the air and then south?
Yeah, my plan was like to fly up and then like, because I know she's like right there. I'm trying to avoid at least getting smacked by her, but I need to be out of this black whatever it is.
Okay, so the concern you might have is if you fly up and out of her reach, if she can see through her own magical darkness, she still might take a whack at you. But how high do you want to fly?
High as a kite.
this is an interesting question. If you take the disengage action, but you can't see your enemy, do you avoid attacks of opportunity?
I would go with yes.
Yeah, it doesn't say that.
No, I would go like 20 feet up and then over.
Okay, so 20 feet up and then over 10 feet.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, so I'm just going to put this mark there.
Okay.
Just to note that, so you're 20 feet up, so that's why there's a 2. And she does not whack you, which suggests that she either doesn't care or, yeah, you can sort of judge from her reaction that she doesn't see you in the darkness as you fly up.
Okay.
So that was an action and a move, but you used an action point for the first action. So you're doing,
well,
you still have your
I guess
regular action.
if I use an action point, right? I wasn't thinking.
Oh, okay. I thought you had said you'll use an action point.
I was thinking I would have to use one to do what I just did, but I don't. But it was just a move.
Right. Okay. So yeah, you used an action and your movement then, and you have a bonus action if you want to use that.
Stop her from. Shit. Yeah, I mean, does she have to make the frightened thing now? Because she's within 10 feet, I guess technically no.
Well, but she couldn't see you when you transformed.
Right. Okay, so it's just at that moment.
Right.
Yeah, I'm gonna. I guess I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to use an action point and attack her then, because she's just gonna mow us down. And I'm gonna cast Dissonant Whispers against her.
Okay. Oh, she failed.
Okay. And she has to, let's see. So she has to maintain concentration on this, or yes?
She does have to maintain concentration
Okay.
on
She has
her
disadvantage because of Mage Slayer.
She also has advantage because she has Warcaster, so it cancels out. But she could still fail. She did not fail. So when she backs away, you can take an attack of opportunity against her because you were adjacent to her when you cast this. Your club, your copper scepter is now bent and useless. So, but you could punch her.
Oh, well, that would make sense. Can I just drop it and grab my dagger and try to stab her?
No, not. You'd
Not
have to have
enough.
the weapon out. But
Okay.
you could punch her.
Hell yeah, I'm gonna try to punch her. Why not? Just roll.
Oh, you punch her, you deal 1 damage, and she critically fails her concentration. Oh my god.
Or
I roll 1.
That was a wrong D20 roll. Roll 20.
You jinxed it.
Right. You make me want to have critical fail rules.
I think roll 20 makes it dangerous. Maybe it's not Mike's game. Maybe it's roll 20 that makes it dangerous.
Don't let Mike off.
So, Lucerosi, you hear whispering as you're sleeping, and make me a wisdom save.
All right. Okay.
So you make the save. You take half of that. So can't math right now. 19 damage. And the pain of these whispers infiltrating your mind shakes you awake as you hear also Nimrod yell out in pain. You can't see anything, so you imagine that Nimrod is gripping his head.
Okay. Can I take any actions this turn?
No, this is still the surprise round for you guys.
Can I
But
at least
next-
grab my weapons?
I mean, I would let you grab a weapon on your next turn as part of your movement.
Okay.
This ain't 3rd edition. They don't fuck you up for having to draw your weapon.
And you hear Nimrod say, "There's something moving outside the tent." And then he lets out another little scream. And you also, hear something move as the flap of the tent is pushed back. And then you feel something swing out in the air at you with advantage because it doesn't need to see you, Lucirosi.
Oh, Zarius. Who's not wearing armor?
You probably.
Yeah. And look at that. I don't have to take a -1 to my AC because I'm not wearing it.
And then two slither into the tent with Zarius and T-Hole. One attacks T-Hole.
Fine. I got magical armor. It can't destroy magical armor.
Well,
And
good
then
for you.
one-
Not all of us are so fortunate.
One attacks Zarius. And Mrs. Zarius, of course, because he was wearing armor.
Right.
What does she want to do? So the Reverend Mother looks back at Aurelia and says, "You still have time to join me. Give up this fight. Go and sit in our cart. We will take care of your friends, and then we can move on from this place." Very well.
Sounds like a good idea.
And go and sit in our cart, and I will come and talk to you shortly. And you see she begins to chant, and you see forming in the air is a sword, a spectral sword next to her that begins to move into the darkness. T-Hole, you can act. You can feel, you can't really hear much of anything, but you can feel that something is now slithering around in the tent with you. And it took a swing at you and hit you last time.
That was the one that had an 18, right?
Oh, that's true. It may not have hit you.
It did
I'm
not.
sorry, it had a 23 because it had advantage.
Oh, okay.
Because it can see through the darkness, basically.
Okay. T-Hole is going to use his bonus action to
Our horses are dead.
to get his arms to get the arms and his visage. And so with my visage, I can see in magical darkness.
Right. And so, yes, now you can see that there are these two black forms that look almost like puddings, but are not. They're different things.
Black pudding adjacent.
Do I see the cleric?
You're still in the tent. If you go outside the tent, you can see the cleric. You can also see a spectral sword between you and the cleric that is moving in your direction.
We can see the cleric now?
Well, T-Hole can because he has his ability to see through magical darkness.
Oh. Got
it. Should my token be able to see? Or is it still blinded?
You actually should be able to see, but I didn't think about it. Now you should be able to see.
Cool.
This dude is gone.
Let's see. What should I do? What should
You
I
also
do?
now realize that the tents you're in are useless because these things have burned holes through them.
Yeah. I guess I would try to get out of the tent and like throw it aside in such a kind of like cast it off to see if like I can kind of get it out of myself and Zarius's way so that like he could just get up and not have this like tent kind of have to fight through the tent on his turn when he's trying to move around.
Yeah, I mean, I would let you do that just as flavor text.
Yeah. And then if I move here, I'm gonna have an attack of opportunity from this guy, right?
Yes. Although I think I lost where, there it is. Couldn't figure out where Zarius was because he's under the tent. Let me move him to the front.
I'm gonna use my action to disengage.
You could always spend a Kai point and a bonus
Oh,
action.
I already used my bonus action to summon my arms.
Oh, okay.
So I'm gonna use my action to disengage, and get, I guess, to get. I'm gonna try to get behind Lucirosi's tent. And that'll be my turn.
Okay. So Nimrod is still sort of screaming. He is going to suffer the attacks of opportunity, realizing he needs to get away from these things he can't see. So when he gets hit there, actually, I'll take the first one, which is good for you guys. Well, that's bad for him because it has advantage.
Yikes.
And let's see here. Yeah, I have to be able to see the crit happen just to cancel it.
And then he's going to dash. And he's still not out of it. Fucking halflings. So, Zarius, it's your turn. You can hear copious screams from the other tent, all from Nimrod.
Wait, doesn't he have a bonus action he can dash as well?
Oh, that's true. So he will get out of it. 1, 2. So Aurelia, you can see Nimrod. He is burned, or he has suffered so much damage that it is surprising he is still alive. On his shoulder, you can literally see bone poking out.
Yep.
Fun. So I guess I could tell, I guess, that this is some sort of magical darkness.
Yeah, you've had enough experience.
Or heard the tent like removed. Normally, like there's like some moon or something, right? There was a moon before.
There's almost always a moon.
Yeah.
You know, you can now tell the tent's gone just from the quality of the air. It's too dark to be natural darkness.
Well, question is, do I think I can dispel it? Well, again, I might have tried doing I don't know what it is, and I'm being attacked. So maybe instead, maybe I'll go with the Spirit Guardians. It seems like the good thing to do. Let me double check. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong one. Oh, you know what? Maybe I won't. Because I have to see creatures to designate them as not being affected by it. So I would be hurting my friends too. Lovely. Yeah, then I gotta try and get rid of this fucking darkness. Can I sense that this sort of whispering is emanating from the darkness too?
Yeah, you're pretty sure it is.
All right, so yeah, and obviously not normal darkness. So I'm gonna attempt dispel magic.
Okay, make
And
the
then I
caster
gotta
level
make
check.
It's just a regular old wisdom save, right?
No, it's
Not
10
save, but a
plus
wisdom
your
check.
wisdom modifier. Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck.
You want to use an action point?
Yeah, I'll try it once. Oh, fucking come on. It's fine. I failed. I didn't dispel it. Or, you know what? It might be worth using it. You know what? Fuck it. I'll use my other action point. Fuck.
Damn.
All right.
The roll 20 dice gods did not wish it to be so.
Apparently.
Aurelia, what are you doing?
So when you cast invisibility and you cast another spell, you become visible, or if you attack, right?
Yep.
But greater invisibility does not have that.
Right.
Okay.
Unless you're casting like a different concentration spell.
Correct. I'm going to cast greater invisibility on myself.
And you hear she says, "What are you doing?" I said, "Get in the cart." Fine. Have it your way. But still your turn. Bonus action and a move.
So I'm going to move like right here. Actually, can I see what's in the cart from here? Do I need to get closer?
You looked in the cart before. It doesn't look like it's moved or been changed or anything. There's a barrel that seems to be filled with water, several crates of food, and many bundles of firewood.
Okay. And she's wearing is her armor like glowing? Well, no, she's changed, right? Is she wearing armor?
Yeah. I mean, the spectral wings pass through whatever you're wearing. She can't fly. She doesn't have physical wings.
I know.
It's just-
I haven't taunted her about that yet.
Right.
But that's on the agenda.
Vicious mockery is what's going to turn this fight around.
No, I actually can't do that. 'Cause I don't want to do that. Yeah, I gotta save my action point. All right, so that's all I.
By the way, Zarius, did you want to like yell for people to get away so that you can cast Spirit Guardians, or I didn't think about what you might be saying to them.
No, I don't think I would have really thought about that right now. I mean, his main concern is trying to deal with the darkness
Okay.
effect. So
So sorry, Peter. What's Aurelia doing?
No, you're fine. That's pretty much all. Can I guess I faintly saw. No, I can't give away my position. Okay. Yeah, I'm done.
Lucirosi.
Okay, so first of all, wisdom save.
Actually, no. You'll do that next round, not this round.
Really?
Yeah, there's a reason for it, but
Oh, I'm not gonna look gift horse in the mouth.
what
So
fucks us later.
So Lucirosi, he is going to grab two things. He's going to grab his weapons, and he's going to grab the lockbox with the seed of Dadarian, and he's going to get up and book it.
okay.
He's just going to run, and so he knows that there's these creatures in front of him. So he's probably just going to run in the opposite direction. So first of all, standing up is 15 feet. And then, so moving with a dash 45 feet in the opposite direction.
So just so you vaguely get the sense that they are, between you and where the fire was. So you're going away from where you think the fire would have been.
Well, I know that there's these two in front of me, but I don't know if it's like a wall of goo or
Right.
I don't know what these masses are. So
you're moving basically though off in like this direction or this direction.
More diagonal, because I do know that these things are kind of forming some kind of line in front of me. So
if you move 45 feet, none of them take an attack of opportunity because they already use their reactions, killing Nimrod. But you also don't get out of the darkness in 45 feet.
So I would probably then use my action point to take another dash.
Okay, then 15 feet into the dash, you emerge here. That's not the sight thing. Here we go. And you should be able to see now.
Okay. So so then looking back and seeing that this is a sphere, it kind of goes off screen, I guess, but I guess I would move more towards the top end, like from here to go to here, trying to run around it and see what's going on. So I would use the remaining movement that I have for that.
Okay.
Lucirosi probably would have grabbed Nimrod if he were still there, but he heard him run away and scream.
So they go. These two actually are going to run after Nimrod. One in front of Zarius is going to attack Zarius with advantage. And the one that was attacking T-Hole isn't necessarily sure where he went, so let's see what we do.
I'm resistant to acid.
I'm aware.
And this isn't magical bludgeoning, I assume.
Nope.
Maybe. Cool.
It's perfectly normal bludgeoning.
Cool. I'm resistant to all of that.
So this one
Which is handy.
seems to begin to wander off as far as at least T-Hole can tell. T-Hole can see him. It's not clear what he's doing or it's doing. What will she do? This is one of those rare occasions when I've got to open her character sheet because I wasn't expecting she would have to attack an invisible opponent. And I don't know if she can. So yeah, this she can do, I think. So she has, with one hand outstretched, guiding her spiritual weapon through the darkness, she reaches up another hand and begins to chant. And you see a black mote appears in the center of her palm, which she releases Spider-Man style in the general direction of Aurelia. But she has disadvantage on hitting with this thing. Oh, she missed. So it flies incredibly wide.
Okay.
T-Hole, your turn.
These moved away, so Teal's gonna go over to this creature and attack it with his he's gonna punch it with his arms, doing radiant damage.
Okay.
And then I'm going to use my bonus action to deal 2 more. Nice. If only the crits did better.
Yeah, actually, so it really, as the radiant damage spills down upon it, it really doesn't like that. And you can see it shrivels up and begins to smoke and turns into a fine dust. It's nothing but ash at the end of those 4 attacks.
Dustin, I don't think you have your crits set correctly because Kurt's crits are supposed to be max damage plus 1 roll.
Right, I was just working that out. So it's like 8 plus 13, so 21, but it's it's vulnerable to radiant damage. So 42 plus 11.
Well,
So
no, it's 13.
Right.
So
his
max.
It's 8. Right. So plus 8 is 21. Plus double that for it being vulnerable is 42. Plus 11.
Gotcha.
So I did do that math, but yeah, you can set it so that it will calculate it as 13 plus a die roll.
Where I can maybe during a break we can talk through that because I just don't, I'm not familiar with how to set that.
Yeah, we can do it manually for now. So you've completely destroyed the one that was in front of Zarius.
And then I was seeing that. See, I would have moved like this one. I would have moved. I was like here, so I moved 18 feet, and then I'd probably go like to here or so. Not that one. I'd go like here, so it get kind of in front of Zarius, between the others.
Okay.
That's my turn.
Nimrod will move when.
Is the darkness not shrieking anymore?
No, it is still shrieking. I actually forgot about that. Hold on. I did forget. T-Hole, make me a wisdom save.
Oh, I'm
So
good at wisdom saves too.
You again take necrotic damage.
Is it psychic or necrotic?
That's psychic, sorry.
Okay.
All right.
And then Nimrod moves. Nimrod was not in the area that time, though.
I thought Nimrod was dead.
No, he's got bone showing, but he's hanging on by 1 hit point. And she now has to make her concentration check, but she has advantage. Yeah, she made that. But he fires a crossbow bolt, which rips into her pretty well, finding a gap in her armor plating and flying past her shield from the side. Zarius, make me a wisdom save.
Ready? I think I made it.
You definitely made it. So you take 20 psychic damage.
Like about half hit points here. Well, I mean, I can't see shit. My attempt to dispel everything didn't work at all. So, I guess I don't do. Can I tell that the thing in front of me died?
Um,
I mean, T-Hole
Give me-
didn't tell me, so.
right. Give me a perception check at disadvantage. It also didn't necessarily make like a lot of noise, and if there was any like light coming off of its burning form, you didn't see it. I'll say I have to go with no. You really didn't see realize with a 14. If you had a 15, I'd have given it to you. I was thinking DC 15 to figure out what's going on in the dark in front of you. You know something happened. You heard something. But, you know, of all the sounds, how do you describe the sound of a adjacent to black pudding turning into ash?
You just heard like the sound of like that goo when you like pushed into it. It like made the sound of like the fists hitting the pudding.
Yeah, that's an average roll for me there. Passively, I'm way better.
Well, but passively, you're 19. You're 19, but at disadvantage, that would still be 14.
Right. Yeah. So, I mean, it's not like I could do much right now. All I can attempt to do is get out of here. Did that thing, whenever it hit me before, did it mess with my armor? being
Is
magical?
your armor magical? No, it doesn't damage magical armor.
All right. Then I'm gonna like, I guess, disengage because I don't know this thing's dead, and attempt to like, I don't know. I don't want to move in the direction. Like I assume that my awareness would be enough that from getting up and whatnot, I would kind of know roughly which way is north. I mean, I guess I don't necessarily know.
I mean, you knew. Yeah, I would say you do generally know, like your
That's
orientation when you went to sleep.
Keen mind thing, so I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, knowing which way is north, just at random, I think is. But like, you would set up a camp, and you know what direction you were facing when you went to sleep. So
Right.
I'd say you have a general sense of where things were.
I don't necessarily. I don't want to like run headlong into the black fucking orb. So I'd like to run not in that direction. And I guess I do have the sound because the water is still running, obviously. So I have that audio cue as well.
Right.
So I'd like to like run like
and you can hear
this
the
way,
fire
I guess.
in the distance.
Huh?
You can hear that there's still a campfire burning.
Right. But I don't want to move like out this direct, like towards where the camp was. I don't know if that anything is going on with the camp people. So only that we've suddenly been assaulted.
Right. So you moved to about
yeah.
here-ish.
Yeah. I've disengaged, but it doesn't necessarily matter. So
Right. You disengaged, but you basically tromped right through the ashes of the black pudding.
What's been happening to Kepri?
That's a good point.
I
Kepri is probably Kepri has to make 2 wisdom saves.
No, after the first one, I think Kepri would have. I would have had Kepri. Yeah, fucking Kepri's dead.
So that would be the first one. Let's see how much damage she took. That's the wrong thing.
That roll was fucking 40. She's only got 20 hit points.
Right, I know.
And she failed to save.
Yeah. So she fell in the first round.
Like it. So how does that work with this particular one? Like, she's a familiar. Does she like poof away and I have to like try and summon her back, or
there may be a way to summon her back. She's not exactly a regular familiar.
Right.
So first, let me see. She's not necessarily dead.
That looks pretty bad.
You have to make a save every round for her screams of torment will occur.
I can
assume she's probably dead.
Because I'd heal her otherwise. I could do that.
But she, so I will say you scooped her up. You can't physically examine her at this point, but you can tell she's not doing well.
Touch minds and tell that she's not doing well.
Right.
Yeah. No. If that's the case, I might not have done the. Because I wasn't thinking about her at that time, but I probably would have just, instead of disengaging, just ran and to provoke and then healed her along the way.
Okay, I'll let you do that.
So
you would move another 6 and you actually come out into the light and turn your sight back on. And you can see she's on the precipice of death. But that's you're dashing as an action.
Right. Okay. but I can see this bitch.
Yep.
Okay. Well, I used both my action points, so.
Aurelia.
All right. So I guess I could see Zarius now comes out of the black taint.
Yep.
I'm going to fly right up here and blast her with a thunder wave. Well, let me hold on. Right here. I'm trying to hit her, send her in that angled direction towards Zarius.
Okay.
I don't know if that's a good idea or not, but we'll have
But
to
it's
find
what
out.
we're doing.
It's what we're doing. Go big or go home.
So she's not blasted into Zarius. But what's your damage?
So she also will take 11 necrotic, so that would be half. I'm guessing she's resistant.
Yep.
So
So 5. Anything else you're doing?
I will inspire Zarius.
Lucia Rosie.
Does she make a concentration check?
You're right. She at disadvantage because you're within 5 feet.
She took a hit from
she
her.
just she just has to take damage. So.
Yeah.
So she's
So it's a
she
straight
has
up roll?
advantage. Yeah, just a straight up roll.
She's got to fail eventually.
Can I? Does pulling my dagger, is that an action or just having it out?
It's usually part of a move action.
Okay, so I have my dagger out, so at least I could probably try to look like I'm trying to stab her. If she tries to hit me.
It doesn't quite make it all the way, I guess. Fair enough. So two of the black puddings move up, but can't quite attack. One of the black puddings continues to move north, and is probably going to run into Lucia Rosie as Lucia Rosie and it both emerge from this thing, and Lucia Rosie runs around the outside. But we'll just leave him there for now and not move him off the map. What should we do? Coursix looks at Zarius. Let me see. And Zarius, make me a concentration check.
Concentration?
Or sorry, Constitution.
I don't think even with the inspiration, I can't make that save.
So it's 46 necrotic damage if she casts harm.
Sure. Oh, everybody else running.
T-Hall, it's your turn.
Let's see. T-Hole's going to move. Well, I can move right to the edge here for my move action. And then I'm going to use my bonus action to dash. And then like kind of dash our like astral fists raring to go and just go to punch her right in the ovaries.
Or one weak spot.
Yep.
See, did I tried to play with the crit die to see if I guess I did not do it correctly.
Right. But it's still so it's 13 plus 12, 25 from the crit.
Yeah. And I'm going to use one of my Kai points to attempt a stunning strike.
First, I want to do her concentration check. So she finally failed. Now she will make her save for the stunning effect.
That does not make it.
So she's stunned.
And that'll be my turn. He has to use his bonus action to disengage because he can't afford to be hit even once. And then I'll have to move. And then he'll take a shot at her. But it's deflected off of her armor. Zarius.
Was I able to stabilize Kefri?
I mean, I would let you do it as a medicine check with a bonus action.
With a bonus action?
Right.
Can't you use Spare the Dying as a bonus action for Grave Domain?
I can, yeah.
Well, then you can do it automatically as a bonus
Yeah.
action.
I wasn't sure if I had gotten, I could have done that last turn then.
Oh, yeah, I forgot something. Yeah, by the way, Dustin, as you acted, I just forgot to describe this. You come down and what you sure is like a devastating hit on her, but she calls upon her god and negates the crit.
Ooh.
Well, yeah, well, I negate her
It is
negate.
right. It is a very yeah. If only these grave clerics work like counterspell.
I guess I forgot to roll a martial arts die against her, but I'll do that next time.
What does it look
What are
like
you doing
whenever
with your
she
turn?
does it? I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna need to do it here because I'm only at 12 hit points. I'm gonna cast heal on myself and get 20 hit or 70 hit points. And then yeah, I mean, I couldn't. I wasn't sure if we had like said that I had stabilized her or not last turn.
Yeah, I didn't realize you were using your bonus action thing. I'd forgotten about the bonus action Spare the Dying.
Yeah, I rarely use it other than a bonus action, except for the couple of times when I used it as a bonus action and an action.
So Kepri is stable but unconscious.
Okay, then wait, I used my action already. So bonus action. I'm gonna go ahead and I'll move here. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I see this spectral weapon bearing down on me. And then yeah, we'll summon my own, I guess. Yeah. Against her.
That does not hit.
Really? Even if she's like stunned?
It's disadvantage.
I'm just making sure. This bitch is trying to copy me. Here it is. My spiritual weapon is cooler. Alrighty. That's
Her
an
spiritual
action.
weapon is the one token I could find for free.
Okay, that's it for me.
Aurelia.
Okay. Well, she's stunned. I mean,
She's stunned, but that means you have advantage on attack rolls against her.
So if I hit her with Dissonant Whispers, she's not going to run away even if she fails because she's stunned. But she has to move away from me.
Technically, I think she could still take reactions. That seems weird. So I just looked that one up.
She would have to use her reaction to move far away.
No, can't
Speed
take.
allows-
She's incapacitated, so she gets her bonus action is the weird thing she can actually still do. Just reactions and actions she can't take. So no, she couldn't run away.
Do what I can do. Why don't you use your wings and fly away, bitch?
What is that on?
Plus 11, 5 necrotic damage. So that would be half 11. And so Shillelagh that just makes a mundane like club or something a magical weapon, right?
Yeah, it lets you attack with a mundane weapon as if it were magical for a
Should have
minute.
done that on your brass rod.
Yeah, I just realized that.
But she was, I forgot. I think you were using the brass rod as a regular attack.
Yeah, I
So you
was.
could've-
I was just reading up like what that really did. So okay, I will inspire T-Hole. Get her.
So Luciosa, you're running around this thing, but as you do so, the bubble bursts and vanishes, and you see in your path there is this one pudding that may have been moving to cut you off, which suggests a certain degree of cunning.
So then, would I have already then been like over here ish, because I spent a round just there while the move was happening around the top.
Right. Yeah, somewhere around there. You'd be relatively close to it.
Okay. So I'm just gonna put myself here to keeping within its range, and then I'm going to I'm gonna use my bonus action to rage, and then I'm going to start attacking recklessly. So
I'll just throw out there that it's a big pudding, not hard to hit. may not need to go reckless.
I'm raging. All right.
Just pointing out for the viewers at home, this makes no sense. If you're wondering why he's doing this,
I have one word for you: Lucerosi. That's all you need to know. That's it. Don't worry.
All right.
I'm use my highest level spell slot to smite
Exactly. Yep.
right? The minion.
this guy. I just woke up. I'm fine.
All right.
Good.
So first attack,
That is a hit.
and then second attack.
Also a hit.
And that's my turn.
What? No smites?
No action points.
Lucerosi, he's raging, he's mad, but he also sees this bitch over here. And if this dude wasn't like actually right in Lucerosi's face, he would have just passed it by to get at her.
Here's the thing. So you hit it with the first attack, and you feel like you've got it pretty well, but first attack, you take 8 acid damage,
Okay.
and let's see,
It splits in two.
it splits in 2.
I know what weapon we're giving them.
So now there are like 2 somewhat smaller ones in front of you. And then you attack one of them again. Which one do you want to attack?
This one,
Smarter one.
Sorry, I didn't see which one.
the top one.
Okay. So you take another 7 acid damage. They don't split any further though, so that's good.
Okay. I got that going for me.
Yep. Anything else?
Nope. It's my turn.
So both of them are going to attack you. But they don't have advantage this time.
They don't?
No, they're not. They had advantage because you couldn't see them and they could see you.
They have advantage because I
Oh,
attacked
right, reckless
recklessly.
attack. See, even I forget the his Lucerosi rule.
You just gave advantage to 2 of them.
Right. And of course, I mean, I knew that, of course, Lucerosi would not be wearing armor. So there's that.
Yeah.
That just means his armor isn't corroding. If Lucerosi dies this fight, his last words will probably be, "At least my armor is okay."
We will throw it into the void.
And these 2, 1, 2. They seem to be chasing after Nimrod, basically, at this point, but they are not catching up this round. What is she going to do? So, Coursix glares at. Oh, that's true.
Isn't she stunned until the end of
Yeah, she's
T-Hole's
stunned until your turn. So she's still stunned. So it's T-Hole's turn. Oh, that's true. She gets a bonus action. So why the hell not? She will. Her spiritual weapon will move. And it will attack T-Hole. Miss.
Missing. Oof.
Now T-Hole's turn.
Now that he's found her weak spot, he's gonna exploit it and go in for the kill.
So the first two miss.
Even
this
at
fourth one.
advantage.
Yes. She has a 20 AC with her plate armor and shield.
Ah,
Can you use inspiration on attack rolls?
you didn't give
Yeah.
me inspiration, did you?
Yeah,
Oh. Did
Gave
you?
you and Zarius.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't catch that.
You might have stepped out of the room at that point.
Um,
Get her, T-hole. You didn't hear that.
I guess I could add inspiration to the second attack. Is it D8?
D10.
D10? It doesn't hit it.
Why wouldn't you do it to the first attack?
Because it's
That's-
one lower.
It's
I mean,
one
it
lower.
was that's true. It would have been an 18.
Oh,
though, 'cause
that's
she's-
right. Oh, I guess I forgot about that. I guess I would have done it to the. I was looking at the 16.
Because he's a role player, Tony. Or sorry, Mike. Maybe you should look into it. He's not just looking for mechanical advantage.
Wait, maybe I should look into it. The one who takes reckless attack while attacking something that is easy to hit.
Such a munchkin you are.
That's true. I would have applied to the first one because it was the closest to 20. But that's fine. So 6 radiant then total.
And you're still stunning strike, I assume.
I am gonna stun again.
And your martial arts die?
And the martial arts die, which I have a button for now.
Okay. What's the DC on your stunning strike? Oh, well, I think she made it.
Yeah, she did. I think it's like 15 or 16.
Anything else you're doing?
No. Oh, actually, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna spend 2 Kai points. And I have never actually used this because I haven't found a good enough reason to.
Mhm.
I actually take advantage of my Zen offense, so I actually spend 1 Kai point. You can spend a Kai point to deal your weapons max damage. So that the one that did hit had a 1 on the die, so I'm going to make it an 8 on the die. So it does an additional 7 damage.
Okay. He is going to run away from these black puddings for a second. Make it to about there. And then he'll miss her with her crossbow, I guess. Zarius.
Alrighty. She is not stunned anymore.
Right.
So do I have that prepped? No. People are grouped up a bit too poorly for me to flame strike it.
Sure. And you really don't know where Aurelia is, so it's really just T-hole.
I guess
you
that's
you could flame strike T-hole. He has evasion.
That is true. Is flame strike a half damage
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
On a
don't
deck
flame-
save, yeah.
Don't flame strike Teagle.
Well, you would take half damage or no damage, though.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
I forgot.
That's a gamble when he's only got 27 hit points left.
Does he?
Yeah. Those those whispers did the number.
But he's great at deck saves, though. Coursix, the cleric is all for it. Go ahead.
Yeah, so like I'm guessing like she said she was an Aasimar, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Have I can't remember. Has it come up where I've noticed I forget if Lucirosi is resistant to necrotic damage normally.
He is.
Yeah,
And so is Aurelia, and she used to have the
Yeah.
same sort of ghostly wings that this
Right.
woman has.
but Lucirosi is also resistant to radiant damage, and I
Yeah.
think that's come up as well.
So basically, I'm just determining here that perhaps trying to hit with necrotic isn't the best because all you fucking angel folks are, just
Superior.
eat it up. Listen, the acid of the slimes wasn't hitting me as hard, so. And it wasn't fucking with my armor.
Hey, it's not fucking with mine either.
No, just your hit points.
Can't take one without the other.
I did.
Whatever.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and hit it with the spirit weapon right quick. Let's just get that out of the way. Hey,
That
there we
hits.
go. And then let's see. Am I far enough? Am I too far? Yeah, I'd have to step closer. I don't want to do that. So, well, I actually I was going to step closer anyways. I'm going to basically cast Vampiric Touch
Mhm.
and then attempt to reach out and you get her. That is pretty close.
But it misses.
I have my inspiration,
Yep.
so
then
that'll
makes
make it hit.
6 necrotic. Oh.
It is necrotic,
22. Right. So she takes 3.
and I get 1. So I gain half the hit points dealt or damage dealt.
Yep.
I'm guessing it's the damage dealt after it's already cut in half.
I think that's right. That's the way I play it.
It's a little something. It's whatever. Well, my hand goes like black, and almost not even spectral, just dripping probably looking a little bit like the shadow coming off this weird fucking shadow sphere here as I reach out and touch her. But that's it.
Okay. Aurelia. I assume you're like low to the ground now since you were trying to blast her in a specific direction.
Yeah. So she does. So I can see she's got a shield and she's wearing armor.
Yep.
So I'm gonna drop greater invisibility and cast heat metal.
Okay. On her armor, I assume?
Yes.
That should be
Watch
nice.
Fail miserably. Let's see here. All right.
I think it just happens.
Yeah, I think it just happens.
Okay. All right.
So let's see. So roll 2d8.
I'm upcasting it, so all right. Goodbye.
Well, I can tell you she screams as her armor begins to glow.
I'm going to then I'm going to inspire T-Hole again.
And it's Lucerosi's turn.
Why don't you just fly away?
Okay, so I'm going to continue attacking. So, and attacking recklessly. First attack, and this is to the top one.
Yep. It hits.
Is it still up?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, splitting was not good for you. Did not half their hit points.
Oh, it didn't?
Nope.
Oof. All right, so let's see the damage for that one.
Oh yeah, that's right. Why is this not set up? Hold on. Seven. Rolling well on these things.
Okay. And then second one. Okay. Is it still up with that crit?
I'm figuring that out. Yeah, it's still up.
Damn it. All right, and then second attack, or third attack. Is the top one dead, or is it still
Nope.
up?
It's as near as you can tell, you can see many, many gaps in the form of it, which weren't there before. But it still seems to be moving around.
Okay.
Anything else you're doing?
No, that's my turn.
So the little ones will attack Lucerosi. Miss. Second one, I assume, hit.
Yeah, and I'm down.
So you all see Lucerosi fall to the ground. And these two, the bigger ones, 1, 2, 3. One begins to move towards T-hole. One starts to move in the direction that Nimrod went. See, Mother Coursix is not liking. She is. All of you are really tempting targets, unfortunately. But damn it. Well, she needs to do something about this armor situation. So she grasps the holy symbol around her neck, begins to chant, and you see there's a definite movement in the black sphere behind Aurelia, like it's almost like it's flexing or being squeezed. as a jet of black energy flies out from it and wraps around Aurelia.
Can I try to counterspell it?
You
I guess
can.
not.
No, you can. Absolutely, you can. Since there's no save for this effect and it kills you, please counterspell it.
Oh, okay. Okay, so I gotta roll a. Yeah. Okay.
So it's just a charisma check. Oh, so describe to me now. So this is what's happening. There's this jet of just void stuff of pure entropy coming out at you in a stream that is just going to take your life force away from you and suck it into the void. Tell me how you stop it using this counterspell. What does it look like?
So Aurelia just kind of like hums a tune and kind of like pirouettes out of the way, and as this thing reaches out, it misses her and just kind of slaps right back into the void.
And Mother Coursix looks absolutely stunned. Her mouth drops open. She wasted a 9th level spell slot on this. When does she take damage from heat metal? Is it on her turn or? It was way up there. I'm not seeing it in the
Aurelia
list
uses
anymore.
a bonus action to deal it again.
Okay. Well, and that's basically her turn. So
Nice.
she can have her stupid little spiritual weapon attack, but why even bother at this point?
It's just too forlorn.
So it attacks T-Hole and misses. T-Hole.
T-Hole sees this newcomer, this blob, and he's going to attack it. With radiant damage.
Well, those are all hits.
And yeah, that's your martial arts die.
Oh, yeah. I need to set up something to just automatically roll it.
You can just make yourself another attack that includes the extra die. Like, just call it super arm. Or the Popeye.
Yeah. That's fair. Can I clone it? Maybe not.
So another arrow goes whizzing past, but doesn't quite hit her. And Nimrod then steps in between Zarius and Aurelia, and it's Zarius' turn.
Alrighty. So I guess let's have this spiritual weapon go off first. Yeah, whatever. And then my vampiric touch is still going, so I will attempt to reach out and grab her again. Do I have it in here? Yeah.
That hits. She takes 5.
So I gain. Is it rounded up or down? Probably down.
It's down.
Yeah. Slow, torturous death for this woman. That's it.
Okay. Aurelia.
So disengage is an action, right?
Yep.
So can I disengage and just fly up away from her so she doesn't get an attack of opportunity?
Yep.
And then bonus action, the heat metal.
Yep.
And it's at the upcasted level, right? It's not at the base level.
Mhm.
I think that's right.
Okay. It's 26 fire. Plus 5 necrotic. Well, 11, but it's be half, so 5 if she takes it. Okay.
Lucius, you make me a death save. Made it.
That's gonna matter because I'm about to take 4 failures.
So
Good thing I got all those diamonds.
We hauled those diamonds up here for a reason.
Yeah. Reincarnation.
so now they have advantage, and they are going to attack.
Yep.
So yes, that is 4 failures.
That could be
So-
handy.
I am dead.
Could help us stop getting noticed so often.
And then you see that after they've, well, you know what? One of them, I would say, one of them starts to move off and makes it to about there. The other one just moves on top of Lucirosi and begins to devour his flesh.
It's fine.
That's what they do. Although I have to say, Lucirosi is hanging on there because I can't get the thing to move on top of him. Even in death, Lucirosi is a pain in the ass. So, and the one down near T-hole is going to attack him, but miss. The one that was going after, oops, that should have gone here. Make it right up to there. It's going to, well, that's right. Aurelia is high in the air, so it can't go after Aurelia. So it is going to move up there where it's threatening T-hole and Nimrod. So you're 30 feet up, I assume, Aurelia?
Yeah.
Just the maximum amount you can go up. She is going to try to cast another spell. You're going to try to counter it?
I'm out of that. I'm done. I don't have any more. That was it.
So,
Oh, shit. No, that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to check this.
damn it. You mean she just had to wait around? So you see all around her, there begins to form just a circle of white energy, almost like a pale silver that ripples and shimmers. And all around her, you see what appears to be like a study. There's a fireplace in the background from the standpoint of Nimrod, Zarius, and Aurelia. From Teal, from your perspective, you see a doorway that's and an archway that seems to lead into like a kitchen area. Suddenly, the whole thing collapses and she is gone.
Bitch.
Her spiritual weapon is still there, but it's hanging in the air, motionless, as it no longer has anyone to direct it, at least not anywhere in range. Or it's an elaborate trick and she's like invisible. But you can't detect her anymore. T-hole, it's your turn.
And I continue doubling down on the Leftern ooze.
Yes.
And I'm gonna spend a Kai point to make that second attack use a full die, so that adds 7 damage to the die.
Okay.
Jesus, why am I rolling so many ones today? on damage die.
It is still up, but it is looking like it's beginning to fall apart.
Actually, I might use another Kai. Well, actually, can I only do that once? It does not say I can only do it once. I'm going to use another Kai point to do that to my 4th attack.
Okay.
Because that also had a 1 on the die. So it's another 7 damage.
So it is still around, but even less intact.
And then 8 for the martial arts.
Yep.
Actually, does the text for it, does the martial arts die count as, because it's in with respect to attacking with my arms, does it count as radiant, or is it like just additional
I've been
damage?
counting it as radiant. I could be wrong in that.
That's what it seems like from the text, but it's just not very obvious.
I
For
count
what?
it as whatever type of damage the underlying attack was.
Right. Kind of like
Gotcha.
sneak attack.
Are you talking about your martial arts die?
Yeah.
Hold on, I'll be right back.
Okay.
Sure. Yeah. Because it says once on each of your turns, you can deal, when you hit a target with your arms, you can deal extra damage equal to the martial arts die.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sounds like this, like a sneak attack sort of thing. So it's follows in the same damage type.
So here's something interesting. Zarius,
Uh-huh.
when you plan, if you plan to bring Lucirosi back,
I'll think about it.
are you using Revivify?
No, I vote for reincarnate.
Because
I don't have reincarnate. That's a
I
druid
do.
spell.
I do. We have the horn of the veil.
Well, that requires. Oh, that's all the unguents you bought.
Yep. Yep.
That require the body?
Well, see, so that's the thing. Revivify doesn't restore any lost body parts, and if this thing is eating me, and it's effectively like the blob, is there going to be much?
No,
if
it was
anything,
at
of
5th
Lucirosi
level. I
left?
have raised dead, so the 5th level spell. So long as there's some of you there, it'll bring it back. It does restore.
I just like the idea of reincarnate and randomly roll to see who comes back.
I also kind of so
I would be amused if you came back as like a gnome. But like you still have a lion form, so you're like just like you're like a cub.
got the spots and everything.
I'm like Goku in Dragon Ball GT.
Right. Yeah. I've always imagined in my head that Zarius has over time collected the hair, just a little bit of hair, and like put it in a pouch in case the body's lost. At least I still have a piece of you that I could revive you with.
I mean, there's plenty of hair around. I probably shed worse than a cat.
But I got it for except probably Nimrod.
See,
Right. And that's less because you can't find anything and more because
I've not
Yeah.
tried.
Oh, we do reincarnate. He comes back. Look, kiss him back. What?
Do you even have that? Do you have that spell slot?
We would have to rest. I mean,
Yeah.
I've burned through most of my spells.
I haven't. I've still got most of mine, but all my effective spells are, everybody's was grouped together.
I usually don't, but this time I did. I had to go through pretty much all of them.
Yeah.
I mean, using counterspell to stop a 9th level spell is pretty sweet.
That was fucking epic.
A power word kill.
I was just like, hey, counter spell, and I looked and it was 9th. I was like, oh shit, whatever.
It's that or die, maybe.
But you did it with room to spare because you have like a +5 and you just rolled a
Yeah, you rolled 19 on the die itself, so.
Yep.
and here I am getting eaten by a blob.
Got one of them.
Turns out fallen ASMR are the way to go.
I mean, when you're dealing with the taint, maybe.
I like to think that as you move through the tunnel into the afterlife, you hear the voice of Bill Cosby taunting you for being eaten by Jello.
In the Russia, the pudding eats you.
So yeah, but I count your martial arts die as whatever your underlying attack is. So in this case, it would be radiant. So I've been doubling it.
That makes sense.
But this one is, all of these things were designed to be tough. So this one is holding on barely. Unless you have something else to add.
No, I'm good.
I kick it. Well, Nimrod has 1 hit point, so he is going to disengage. He will move here and he will shoot at the thing. And he kills that one. Sarius.
Okay. So I gotta start. Man, T-Hole seems to be handling those things fine at the moment. Kind of move up this way, I guess. And what's the? God damn it! Fuck you. I guess it's where you at? Sacred Flame on that guy that's trying to eat Loose Rosie. There's some good rolls. My Sacred Flames last game were fucking terrible.
Nice.
And it's radiant. That's a massive amount of damage to that fucker.
Yeah, and he took a lot of damage from Loose Rosie, so he is dead.
Now you're good.
Only partially digested.
Yeah, you'll just be, you'll just have to Dr. Sheev it when you go back to see your girlfriend. You'll look like one of those rescue cats with mange. Anything else Sarius is doing?
I moved. Oh, you know what? I guess I could just have this thing attack that guy. Spiritual weapon swing.
That hits.
Okay. That's all I can do.
Aurelia.
So bonus action, I guess I would continue concentrating on heat metal. Do I know it's broken or what? Or do I?
Yeah, it doesn't have a.
Yeah, you don't
distance
know what's
requirement.
okay. I
Okay.
mean, the way I play these things, you don't necessarily know if a spell is broken.
Okay.
Like it's not, you don't get a feedback from that. So
Okay.
you continue to concentrate on it.
I roll damage. There we go. And then I will shoot this blob thing with Eldritch Blast from above. 1. I don't know. 2. 3.
They're all hits.
Okay.
Lucius, he's still dead. So this one little black pudding is changing course. And he has to double move to make it up to you though, by 5 feet. Why couldn't you have stepped 5 feet closer? And then this larger black pudding is going to attack T-Hole because he's there.
He hits.
What's your armor class, T-Hole?
It's 20. Oh, that's right. I still have the inspiration die.
I don't think you have cutting words.
Yeah, you wouldn't
Right.
be able to use it as a reaction like that.
Oh. That.
Can I use cutting words on a black pudding?
You can. It just has to be able to hear you, I believe.
Okay, yeah, and it did act like it knew what it was doing. There we go.
So it misses.
There we go. Nice.
And it's T-Hole's turn.
I'm gonna reach after the second black pudding, and go in for the strike. Oh.
And your martial arts die.
Of course, I did make the super arms too. I just need to actually use it.
So it is still up, but not looking good. And it's still up. Sarius.
Well, I guess I gotta sacred flame this thing in front of me too. Look at that.
This one is, however, undamaged, for at least after it split.
Yeah, I mean that's still like 46 damage. I mean it's something.
Right.
And then I guess I'll swing the fucking thing at the other one. Where you at?
That hits.
I'll just sort of maneuver around this way, be a little bit closer to them in case one of them gets fucking critted or something.
Aurelia.
All right. Still concentrating, so there we go. Eldritch Blast on that thing below me.
It's a hit. It's a hit.
All right.
That's a hit. Oh, it's still up. Still dead. Its turn. Let's see. It's having trouble hitting you. So first, it moves into the space of T-hole. So you are it is completely all around you now. And then a pseudopod comes up and tries to punch you.
Missing.
But on your turn, you're going to have to deal with the fact that you're standing in it.
You're soaking in it.
Yep. And this little one's going to do the same sort of thing to Zarius. It's moving into your space. But it misses when it tries to punch you.
Yep.
Teal, it's your turn. But while you're, oops, that's one thing. While you're standing in it, you take a little bit of corrosive damage just from it being there. So you take 8 acid damage.
I'm going to use my reaction to negate that with deflect energy.
Okay.
I'm glad that turned out.
That's your turn now.
Yeah, I'm gonna move. Is this difficult terrain?
Yes, it is. It will cost you 10 feet of movement to get out of it.
All right, so I'm gonna get out and just a little bit of distance away.
If you move there, we'll get an attack of opportunity unless you disengage.
Well, I probably just won't do that then. I'll sit there and then I'll continue swinging.
So the first one is enough to kill it. So you could move and take the ones at the other one if you have enough movement.
Let's see. 10.
Yeah, it's only 20
Yeah.
feet to get there.
Yeah, so I do. And I would do that. And then the last one, thanks to Mike, is super arms.
So yeah, you almost kill it with that. In fact, it's got 1 hit point left. I'm going to say you kill it. It eats a bad bit of rock and it dies.
It's just, I would imagine after punching all this black ooze, this necrotic goop, he's just got he just kind of has his arms wipe off this stuff and just kind of cleaning himself after
See, I actually pictured it slightly differently. The way I sort of pictured it in my head, every time your astral arms punched in, it's not that this stuff comes off with it. It's that your astral arms dissolve a bit and then have to reform as they pull back. Because it's not like you get this stuff on you. It basically is a solid creature. So it's not like a real puddle.
Oh, I see. Gotcha.
It's just that everything that contacts it dissolves away.
Gotcha. Well, that works too.
An interesting thing, preparing for this, as little time as I had, I was looking stuff up, and something I never knew about black puddings, but in prior editions it was official that black puddings are so stealthy that they could move across a floor that is covered in dead leaves and not make a sound, slowly dissolving the leaves as they crawl. So you will never hear them coming.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Although these were not black puddings, of course. These were something different.
Right.
Black puddings probably would get you called out on Twitter. So now it all goes back to just the sound of the river running behind you and the campfire that they had set up. Nary even a moan from Lucia Rossi. And let me
Yeah.
just take a second. I know Lucia Rossi sent me a message and I didn't get to read it. All right. So what are you all doing?
I'm continue to concentrate so my spell is over. So on heat metal.
Okay. So give me a couple more rolls. How many more rounds is there? Like
6 more.
6?
Yeah.
So go ahead and roll.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, while she's doing that, I guess I'm gonna move over to Lucia Rossi, and I guess do a quick examination, confirm he is dead.
Yeah, doesn't take much of a medicine check.
Yeah.
His skin is partially eaten away. Organs are exposed. The organs are partially eaten away.
So that was a question we had while you were away, Kurt, because Revivify doesn't replace any lost body parts.
Right. Yeah. Is he beyond the reparation process of that?
So I would say that's interesting. My first thought is that we should go to some sort of skill check, but it would be a skill challenge, but it would only really be Zarius who could do anything. I mean, maybe Aurelia could help out in some way.
Aurelia's
But-
pushing for
but-
reincarnate.
Yeah, I would say like there is more damage than you would expect to be able to heal with Revivify, but I would let Zarius make me a medicine check and maybe somebody could help out. You don't always have advantage with that. You just have expertise, right?
Right.
So it is possible as you basically conduct a mini surgery in the middle of the taint that possibly on the taint, who knows what got dissolved,
Right.
that
true.
somebody could help you out to give you advantage on this check as well.
We were able to revive you, but unfortunately, you lost the use of your penis.
No! Takes the rod
Also,
as the
yeah.
axe,
Also,
cuts
we
his
had
own
to-
throat.
We had to graft your penis onto your face.
It was 100% necessary. No, it wasn't.
I'm no dickhead.
You are now Dick for Nose.
Like Peter Griffin, you've just got balls on your chin.
What was the one?
Movie 43.
There's
Is that what you're thinking?
No, it wasn't. There was the one fucking the fucking Deuce Bigelow movie. One of them. There was a person with a dick on their face and a person with a vagina on their face, and he got them together. He played matchmaker for them.
It sounds like not the first one. It sounds like something. that
I
came up in
feel like it's the
cinema.
second one. Yeah, I didn't watch them. I didn't watch. I don't think I watched either of them. But I remember seeing that bit. Let's see here. I can't remember how much fucking diamonds you got. That we got.
You're muted, Kurt.
I don't remember exactly either. I'd have to go back and check the tape on that one. I think it was like 4 or 5 and you used 2 of them.
from what's his fuck it?
Yeah, and then there was
Duke.
like separate packages of diamond dust.
I don't remember using any of that from the.
Maybe you only use diamond dust. I know you had to cast Greater Restoration twice.
Oh right, that's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, I
What
think
about-
that one used the diamond dust.
Yeah.
What about his like weapons and armor and stuff? Has that all been dissolved?
Well, his weapon, thankfully, is a nearly legendary Rod of Lordly Might, so that's fine. His armor he wasn't wearing because he was asleep.
Right.
So it's
And
back. It's back in the remains of the tent, and the creatures didn't
Okay.
really focus on it.
anything else that would have been on my person was magical. And I don't think the
Okay.
acid affected magical things.
Yeah, because otherwise, because if there's enough diamonds, I could do a raise dead. Because
But I would just say you could do a raise dead if you can't repair him enough to do the revivify.
yeah, well, the main thing is that revivify, they have to have died within the last minute. I think is that the right
Right.
one?
Yes, and so you don't have a lot of time, but I would say it would take you about 2 actions worth of time to try to repair him enough to do it and then get the spell off. So 3 actions, and he hasn't died. He died basically 20 seconds ago.
Right. Has it been that long?
I've been dead for at least 2 rounds,
Yeah,
maybe 3.
Yeah.
2 or 3
Okay.
rounds.
Yeah, and then I had to spend time getting over here. Yeah.
Mhm.
So all right, see, let me see what I can do. Medicine.
Yes.
Watch a critical fail.
Yeah, that's more than enough. So yes, you are able to repair the body. Basically close open wounds and ensure that there's no internal bleeding. He might be hurting for a while after this as a result of the fact that he's got organs that need to regenerate,
Right.
but he could be brought back and not like just die again.
Right. All right. Well, let me do that then. I'll
Reincarnate would give him a whole new body, and then it wouldn't be all banged up.
So would revivify,
Right.
or yeah, would raise dead, but
Right, but then he'd have the joy of getting to roll dice to see what race he is.
Of course.
I'm just curious what I would roll, so I'm just gonna roll a DN100 anyway and see what happened. What would happen? Or would it be Aurelia? Would you, Peter, roll the D100?
Oh, I don't know.
Well, let's both roll and let's see what would happen.
Hmm.
Dwarf.
Dragonborn.
there's a 19 and a 2. Are they both Dragonborn?
No,
Nine.
one's a dragonborn and one's a mountain dwarf.
Beardless, the worst. After having all the hair, right? And now he just goes to having no
Yeah.
hair.
Right, he would be completely hairless.
All right, because it's a new body. It hadn't had a chance to grow out yet.
Hmm.
Like no hair on the arms, nothing.
He would die. He's dead, and T-Hole is upset, and then he'd be concerned, and then he reincarnates as a beardless dwarf, and he just is disgusted.
Or imagine if I reincarnated as an Asimar, kept my own body, but now I'm like one of those hairless cats waiting for my hair to grow.
Imagine if he came back as an elf.
Oh my god.
Really is just super racist towards you for the
Yep,
rest of the campaign.
The cat lord has cursed me. All right.
So there are currently seconds to spare. I assume Zarius is casting Revivify.
Yeah. That's specifically why I got us diamonds.
So as you move down this misty tunnel towards the light has reached out to envelop you and protect you from the darkness outside the tunnel. You begin to feel a pull at your back, and the light begins to recede and the tunnel grows longer as you fly in the opposite direction.
You could always resist.
No, because I have a feeling that this is a call for my soul to return to my body. Or do I feel like, oh no, I'm going to hell?
No, you feel as though you're being pulled back towards the material world.
Yeah.
Like,
What if he sees Solastri ahead of him? Reaching out for that.
Yeah, it's 1 inch away and you're sucked backward.
I'm curious, like, if because he's tied so much to Asheros, but it's me and my divine faith bringing him back. Like, is there conflict in the? Because I was picturing like he's moving towards the light, but then like the jackal form of Anubis comes up, and like
I think it is.
halts him.
I'm perfectly okay with you describing it that way. I have already described it to him in PMs that he was sort of flying down a misty hall or tunnel towards a light, and there was sort of a slithering darkness outside the tunnel that was trying to break its way in, but the light extended outward to block its passage and keep him safe. So I am perfectly fine with you saying that an image of Anubis forms behind him and wraps its arms around him and begins to pull him back.
Or just like grabs him at the nape with its jaws and yanks him back.
I'm thinking more like a humanoid body, but the jackal head, right? And then like grab hand on the shoulder sort of thing, and you like look, and it's like this enormous fucking 12-foot tall maybe form of a person with a jackal head, and it's like holy shit. But like there's like a sense of, oh, this thing doesn't mean me any harm at all.
Right. And then I imagine Lucirosi would look at it knowing what it's doing there, and he would say, yes, let's go. There's much work to be done yet.
I would add that as it's silent as it puts its hand on your shoulder, but you also would notice that it's not staring directly at the light, and when its gaze sort of meets the light directly, it seems a little bit unpleasant for it.
Interesting. Okay.
That's possible.
I'll take note of that.
Listen, the light is a dick, right?
Hey, if the light is a dick, it's sprinkling its seeds all over.
I prefer to live in the duller gray.
The taint. You
No,
dwell
that's
within
black.
the taint.
That's totally black. I'm a dragonborn. We don't have taints. It's all in one for us.
Just that got that sexy cloaca.
That's right.
Right.
All right, so Lucirosi kind of gasps and takes a breath. What do I have any lingering scars, or what do I look like now?
Roll for dick mutilation.
You would definitely still have, like, the open wounds have healed. There are definitely still scars, and you feel an incredible amount of pain just internally. Because this creature was physically eating, not dissolving away at you from the inside.
Okay.
If I should just like hit you once right quick and then heal you, it would just be so much easier.
I take a breath. I look up. Boom! Right.
Welcome back.
I won't do it. That seems.
This is an extreme form of hazing.
But I will cast a 5th level Cure Wounds on you.
Okay.
So you get that. 31 hit points. That ain't bad.
So Lucirosi, he is after the healing that Zarius provides is still in a great amount of pain, and he's like, what happened?
The woman got away.
That's unfortunate. Did I die?
Yes.
Huh. And then Lucirosi just kind of, I kind of picture it like all the things that happened are like kind of foggy, but also kind of hitting him as a wave, and he's just really confused and trying to process it all. And then he's like grabbing his abdomen as he gets up. Is everybody safe?
They will be. As I get up and I go to Kepri.
Yeah, Kepri will still be out for a couple hours.
Not if I heal him.
Did her spiritual weapon finally vanish?
Yes.
So I'm going to look around where she was, see if she left anything when she vanished, like left anything behind.
Not on the spot she was, but give me an investigation check.
Investigation.
Since
Come
she
on.
was-
15.
So you don't find anything that she's left behind, although in the tent she was using, you do find that large book she had beside her before. She didn't have that with her while you were fighting her.
Okay. Can I read the, do I recognize the language or?
Let me see. You're attuned to the horn now?
Yep.
Yeah, then you can sort of make out bits of it. It's in a language that's very similar to Druidic. It's
Okay.
not Druidic though. So you can't exactly read it, but you could definitely see the commonality in the way it's written.
Okay.
Come on, Lucirosi.
I'm wondering how bad do things have to get for somebody to blow that horn and summon 12 extra soldiers?
It's only 11 right now, right?
Are you 11th level? My bad.
Yeah. Unless you're
Yeah.
saying.
Not quite yet.
That's-
Although that might explain why this fight was so tough. I was planning for 12th level characters.
Yeah, I mean,
Wait, does that mean?
No.
We survived.
Yeah, it means you should be very proud of yourselves. No, actually, I did plan for 12 level characters, but that's because this is how these battles work out. Because you guys because I've given you guys magic items that sort of bump up what the normal CR system is designed to handle.
Makes sense.
Because I summoned 10 of them in that one fight. Because I
Mhm.
think we were 10th level during that fight in the mansion. I think we hit it right as we hit that fight.
So Lucirosi is going to start looking through their camp to try and see if he can find anything worth looking at or that might help provide any clues to anything they were doing here.
Whoa, easy there, Tiger. You just came back to this plane, this world. You might want to take it easy. Why don't you let me help you to the cart over there?
No. Ugh. There's work to be done. Things are not right. There's something wrong. I can't exactly explain what or exactly how I know, but there's something wrong, and I can't rest until it's fixed.
What do you plan to do in your state?
Well, for now, I think I can still walk around and at least look at an empty camp.
So you don't, I won't even make you roll. You don't find anything in particular. There is a little bit of things that look like they may have been of value. There's a few small gemstones. No coins, oddly, even amongst their possessions. So it's really just the books and a few gemstones.
So what exactly happened? I woke up in that horrible screaming darkness, and then there was the ooze creature, and as I fought it, I saw you guys fighting with Coursix.
There was this Coursix summoned a black sphere, one much like that, pointing to the one over the river, and it was over us. I woke up and heard these whispers, and once I gained my wits and summoned my power, I was able to see through it and saw these black ooze creatures. But this woman was clearly not who she said she was.
If what you describe is accurate, then perhaps they are with the cultists of the void. That's the only explanation, their presence being here. If they were going into the void, then perhaps they were trying to retrieve something or empower it.
And as you have this conversation, you hear, "Yeehaw! My pony survived!" And comes Nimrod running around the camp, riding his pony. All of the other horses died in the blackness.
Well, that's great news. We're going to need a pack horse.
Nimrod, you don't look well.
No, he does not.
Mild concussion.
He's got a bone jutting out from his shoulder.
Right.
That'll be fine. That could be fixed by somebody. I don't know who, but
Once Nimrod calms down, Lucirosi will do nothing because he hasn't prepared cure wounds.
you don't have any lay on hands.
Oh no, I ran out of those
Hours
long ago.
Sure, yeah.
Oh, that's disappointing.
I don't know who's gonna grab any of those gemstones, but if nobody does,
Well, it's
Uh,
Luciosi's the one who found them.
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
not
yeah.
like
Well, I mean,
they're not like sitting out and like where everyone can see them. They could root around to find them.
right. So Lucirosi will collect them and keep them.
all right.
Because there's going to be some coffers to fill at some church or some poor bastard.
Zarius knows you have them, but it's fine. He could hear the clink. Here's
So
the
what-
gems.
What's the
Oh, they got it.
blackness over the river look like? Has it changed any, or does it still look the same?
It changed briefly right before you dispelled the magic she was using, but otherwise it looks pretty much the same as when you first got here. Still about 50 or so feet across. Seems to be roughly circular. It still appears to have a sort of glossy sheen to the outer edge to it with a mist that seems drifts in and out of the shell on the outside.
I showed Zarius the book. It's the book I found that she had.
I'll look through it.
Now that you're not attuned to the horn, you can't even recognize. You can vaguely recognize if that, you could once read the script. You might even think that it was druidic, but you can't make out even the words anymore. That knowledge has left you.
I cannot read it.
Don't worry, I'll tell you what it says.
Unless it's in Goblin.
What is that book?
The one she left.
Does it have a title?
I don't know. I'm sure it does. I try to take some of the dirt and dust off of it. See if there's a title.
You don't see anything that looks like a title. I mean, there's sort of wording on like the first page that might be some sort of title, but it's not. It doesn't make words that you can read. So,
if I peer over Aurelia's shoulder as she's kind of holding this, do I recognize the language? Is it Celestial, High
No.
Imperial?
nope.
Yeah.
Did T-Hole happen to write
It
it?
is like I said to her. It's some sort of. It's very similar to Druidic. So it's neither High Imperial nor Celestial or anything like it. Anybody who's trained in it can make me a religion check.
I'm not trained in it.
So Luciosi's not familiar with it.
This language is unfamiliar to me.
Well, I can read some of it. I'll have to study it and see if I can figure it out.
Sounds good.
If you spend about 12 hours with it, you could make an investigation check to try to start figuring out what it's saying. If you spend a month with it, you could learn the language because you still have 2 open language spots you've never taken.
All right.
Teal's going to sit down near the cart, kind of in camp and cross-legged and start meditating.
I mean, it's still fucking late, right?
Yeah, it's still pretty late. You interrupted your long rest to do this fight.
Well, should we rest here?
I don't think we have any other option. If we go much further, we may encounter more of those animals. At least here there's a fire. Besides, we can't get very far without our horses.
We must maintain our watches. That people
Yes.
from inside may still return.
She may come back. She may want her book back.
Yes, we need to be careful.
So Nimrod walks back and starts pulling out the bedrolls from the remains of the tents. The bedrolls are also sort of partially eaten as the oozes crawled over at least corners of them.
So what I might do then is take a little bit of time before laying back down and attempt, because I got one more 5th level spell slot. Oh no, wait, shit, I don't have it prepared. Fuck. All right, never mind. I was gonna try and scry on her. I'll do that later.
I'll do that in the bathroom.
Then I'm just gonna go back to sleep. I think I was gonna take last watch, but
Yeah, Nimrod also wearily and in pain crawls into one of their tents.
So, yeah, who's taking watch first?
it was Aurelia's watch this time. I don't know,
Maybe-
whatever the timing is.
I guess I can start. Guess I can start.
Who knows?
that's good.
I just realized it just like it's in 2 campaigns when Peter's going to have characters that are obsessed with one particular book. It's going to sit here and read my Kings of Galifar book. Here's the thing though, what if you start reading this book and it just starts talking about her god and it really starts to make sense?
You never know. Things might change.
I will say, does it look like a journal?
From flipping through it, so it's not even it's in a druidic alphabet, so it is handwritten, but that's kind of common of most books. It doesn't necessarily it could be a journal, but it could be something else. There's not much to compare it to in this language.
Right. Well, I mean, yeah. So I mean, journals, I imagine, are sectioned off by date or whatever. So that's normally how journals work. It's like,
It certainly doesn't look like it's a day-to-day diary style thing. Like there's not that many sections to it.
mhm.
But they're flipping through it. I mean, it is a pretty big book. It weighs 10 pounds. So, there are a lot of sections to it. Some sections look like they could be her specific thoughts. There are a number of blank pages in various sections throughout the book.
Got fucking 20 pounds of book here. And we only have 2 books. Because I'm pretty sure fucking Mordenkainen's book is that big too.
You also have that the manual that Lokexicus was looking for in the first place. That's another giant book. You guys are carrying lots of books.
You fucking enormous book.
Yeah, who's has the Fabrica?
I do.
Okay.
At least as far as I know, unless Motherfucker took it for some reason. He can't read it. And then I had that like that one medicine book, the book that's given me the like expertise or whatever too.
Right. Actually, that book was lent to you. I think he took it back. Like you got
he?
the benefit of it and he took it back.
Oh, okay. Okay. I thought it was one of the things is like as long as I took it or as long as I was using it, and then after a while I would have the effect permanently. But
Right. But I think I think you got the effect permanently on it did take a while, but you had like 30 days to get from Watchtower, a little more because you got lost from Watchtower to Monfair. And then what's her name? His assistant picked up the book. In any event, you have the
Constantine?
benefit. Yeah, you have the benefit of it now. So, but I mean, so this is roughly the size of the book that's in her hands. Lots of sections.
okay. I mean, look at that symbol though. Definitely, real close to the taint.
Yeah.
It did occur to me when I first, that is not a symbol I made up. That is a symbol from, I think Pathfinder used it. And the first thing I thought of was, I don't know if anyone saw Community, but the Greendale flag.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Did anybody ever watch Community?
E pluribus anus is the Greendale school motto, because the dean didn't realize that it was that they had painted an anus and submitted it as a candidate for a potential flag.
That's awesome. All right. Well, Luciosi's going to curl up somewhere and try and get some sleep.
So is Aurelia going to study the book on her watch?
Yeah, I guess I can. Yeah, I can do that on watch, right?
Yeah, if you're by the fire.
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm going to do.
So make me an investigation check.
Okay. I thought I had to study it for 12 hours.
Well, you to get everything out of it,
Cumulative,
you're going to
I
have to take some time.
Oh, okay.
It's like a tome.
So you're able to pick up some of what's there. You realize the language is sufficiently different that you're probably not going to be able to just come up with like a word for word translation of it. But the first section you're able to you begin to make out definitely does talk about the sphere in front of you, and it does seem to be recently written. So from what you could tell, it talks about sending people in, that it is very likely that they won't survive, but that it refers to this thing as the sphere as the temple. And that on the off chance that one of them can survive and can come back out, it should be possible to figure out a way to safely enter it. But that's really all you can make out. There's some stuff in there you would think are about what she thinks is in the temple, but you're not able to make out what that is yet. So how long are your watches? Are you doing 2 hours each?
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so make me another investigation check.
Okay.
Investigation or perception?
Investigation, because she's trying to decipher what's in this book.
Oh.
You're able to make out a good portion of one section that talks about, it does seem, at least if what is in here is true, that she's writing about how she actually is a Reverend Mother of the Church of Moreyn, and that she has discovered that the four gods left the world to die, that they receded back into Mount Celestia and sealed its borders forever, knowing that there is the fifth god who will eventually one day return. And rather than face him again, they sealed him away in the void, saved the people that they thought worthy, all created, none of the corrupted were saved, retreated into Mount Celestia and sealed it forever. They still have a presence here, but it's not the physical, robust presence they used to have where they could directly intercede in the affairs of the created. And the people they saved were only a handful, according to this book. The people they left behind were multitudes, all of whom are essentially just left to toil in the afterlife, waiting for the day when this god returns and claims the entire world. And when he does, the lucky will be the ones that this god either puts into his service directly or kills mercifully. The unlucky ones will be the ones he allows to live.
Okay.
Sounds like an excuse.
You also see there is actually one phrase in there that you've heard before. It says, "What we think of life is a deception. The faithful have already been claimed, taken, and saved. We are his. Praise to Tharizdun. Praise to the Elder Eye."
Can you copy and paste that in chat or something?
Let me write it out.
Or the Zoom chat if you want.
Yeah, I prefer to have it in the regular chat where it'll be forever.
Oh, okay. Okay. Thanks.
And I misspoke, actually. I realize now you never heard that before. Zarius and Lucerosi maybe, and T-Hole maybe heard it before.
We did from the fallen Asimar at the cabin.
So I guess I would read it like I would probably just get excited because I actually pieced the whole thing together and it finally makes sense. This one part, so it's like, oh, that sounds prophetic.
The last part you're able to make out is about how she tried to convert the people of her sect into the worship of Tharizdun, but the Reverend Father of her order opposed her, and most of the adherents of her sect followed him. So she took the few that had seen the truth and murdered the rest and moved on. And
I would assume
it was then that she was drawn into this region, and she wasn't sure why, until one day when the great black sphere fell from the sky and expanded, and she realized that this was a temple of the god Tharizdun.
so. I would assume that she killed the Reverend Father.
It doesn't
Specific say
specifically
that? Okay.
It doesn't specifically say that. But it suggests that she killed the entire sect, including him.
And the spheres fell from the sky. Okay.
This sphere did.
Right. The one we are looking at.
Right.
All right. Oops. So you cycle through your watches. Morning comes. It's not a particularly bright morning. The sky is still overcast. The sphere still looms there, silent. I assume people were tending to the fire to keep it up. It's pretty clear that what's in their cart is only about 12 hours more worth of firewood, at least at the start of the night. So there's really only about 4 hours more fuel left. You're not sure. They only have the one cart, so you're not really sure where they were getting this much firewood. Well, any of their main mundane crap, we'll burn that too.
Right,
Yeah,
that's
that
not
seems
going to
like a-
burn super long. For the most part,
Right.
it's not got the density of wood. But you could surmise logically that they either came with a shit ton of firewood or they found a way to get firewood while they were out here. Although you didn't see many trees on your way here, certainly not in the last 100 miles of your trek. There wasn't much that was still standing.
So, do we try to enter this thing?
So we got our full long rest now.
Yes. And Nimrod chimes in and says, fuck no, we shouldn't try to enter that thing. It looks like a sphere of annihilation. No, those guys who went in, they never came out.
We don't know why they didn't come out.
But it's possible that they died the moment they crossed through the threshold. See this? This is bone.
That's their temple.
What do you mean it's their temple?
Well, that's what this book says. She says it was their temple, and they were sending people in to see if they would come out.
Well, we knew that, didn't we? We knew they sent people in, and we know they didn't come out.
But I don't think we can just leave this here. We have to try something. If we just return back to Cartha, then it doesn't address the problem afflicting the city. And it seemed like Coursix expected that they should be able to return. And I believe she knew more about this than she led us to believe.
Well, if it was their temple, then I think we can surmise that she was probably willing to lie to us. Probably she has no intention of ever dispelling this thing. We don't necessarily know if she actually even tried.
I doubt it that she did. It seems if it's their temple, like I said before, perhaps they were trying to find something within to bring out, or trying to empower it in some way.
You said it fell from the sky.
This thing fell from the sky.
Yep.
Well, that's concerning.
She says something about praise to Tharizdun and praise the Elder Eye.
Can I make a check to see if I recognize either of those?
You can. DC's pretty high.
Religion, I'm assuming.
Yeah. I would say you've heard the references to the Elder Eye, and all you know about it is that there is a cult that is considered to be so toxic that even as an inquisitor, you were not allowed to go and investigate the cult and put those people to death. You had to report it up the chain of command, and many people would be sent out to put those people to death. Whatever it was, the church was very concerned about the cult of the Elder Eye. Although Tharizdun is not a name you would have come across.
Did I say it right?
It's Tharizdun, but yeah, Tharizdun, whatever you said was close. I didn't notice that.
Okay.
The cultists of the Elder Eye, they were not ones to be messed with. Well, I was an inquisitor. The church took it incredibly seriously. They would never send in normal teams. They would send armies to address them.
Wow.
Listen, I know that it is unwise for all of us to just walk into that thing, not knowing what it is. But I think we need to try something.
Well, why don't we try everything we can from out here first? And if that doesn't work, then tomorrow we'll tie a rope around you, lead you in, and then yank you back out.
And what would you suggest? Do you have some magical MacGuffin that can recess this thing back to whence it came?
I don't. I came up here because you said we should come up here and do this. I'm not the magic guy.
I don't think that there's anything we can do from the outside. We can't even know whether the source of whatever's creating this is actually here or somewhere else.
But still, isn't it prudent to at least tie a rope around somebody, feed them in, and try to yank them out? Because this might just be a disintegration machine.
I will volunteer myself if it comes to that.
So
I
while
don't
they're
think there's
talking-
anything else that we could do, though.
While they're talking, I'm gonna a while back. I think I got one right. I commissioned for a glass eye. I had to,
you did.
I had to
You did
special
definitely
order one.
got a. You definitely got a glass eye.
So I'm basically I'm gonna stand a little ways from this thing, about where I'm at now, and start chanting with this glass eye in my hand. And after about 10 minutes, I've cast clairvoyance, and I hold the eye up over my own eye and peer, and I'm attempting to create the sensor just inside.
Kurt, did you intend to put up Book of the Wand
We'll
to
say
show
no.
that? Okay.
We'll say no.
I'll admit I was putting it up because I was trying to remind Dustin of something, but I
Yeah.
couldn't. I can't just put it up on the screen for one person. I have to put it up for everybody.
I already closed it, so
Yeah, I closed it as well. I was like, Book of the Wand, I don't know what this is. Closed it.
Something you
get
found in
these-
Mordenkainen's banner.
Get these
And then gave
books
away.
out of here.
I think we gave it away.
Right. But T-Hole did read it once upon a time. So let me just see what Clairvoyant says. So I would say, actually, I'll whisper this to you, since only you will experience it.
Mhm.
While I'm doing this, give me a charisma save.
Me?
Sarius, yeah.
Charisma save.
Are you near Lucerosi?
Lucerosi looks like he's near me. Boom. Oh yeah. Look at that.
Whoa.
I have to be proficient.
So the rest of you would see Zarius cast this spell and is sort of lost in his own vision of whatever he is looking at inside this sphere. since he didn't really announce what he was doing, probably none of you would know what spell he cast, but he seems entranced.
So concerned, Lucirosi will approach Zarius, but not do anything because it doesn't seem like he's in harm or he's distressed, does it?
No, he's just staring silently. I mean, he cast the spell for 10 minutes. So this is clearly part of something he was trying to do.
All right, so Lucirosi will just kind of make sure he's okay.
But he's not responding to you as you are just standing near him.
Yeah, I don't
I
want
can
to risk.
hear and everything.
I don't want to risk
Right.
breaking his concentration.
Normally you could, but right now you can't.
A 28 charisma save didn't save.
It did save. That's the
Okay,
good
cool.
news.
Okay. Because I guess I would, because I would normally also in this particular instance start sort of conveying what I'm seeing.
Right, except
Does that happen?
You're from your point of view, you are in there and see this for a split second. It seems like no time has passed. Meanwhile, on the outside, Zarius is just staring at the black sphere for about 2 hours.
Okay,
The spell only lasts 10 minutes.
Normally it does.
After like a few minutes, Lucirosi would start like actually nudging Zarius and seeing if he responds, the type thing.
Yeah.
And
so, he is not responding to just sort of gentle nudges and finger snapping.
Yeah. Aurelia, T-Hole, wait, Kepri, do you know what's going on? You have some connection to Zarius.
I don't have a clue what's going on. I can't reach him right now mentally.
He
Is
seems
okay?
I mean, he doesn't seem to be in pain.
Do you know what he was doing?
Not particularly.
Did anybody see what Zarius was doing before this? He seemed like maybe he was casting a spell.
He was definitely casting a spell. And he has that glass eye in his hand.
Glass eye, yeah.
He seems.
If anyone is trained in Arcana, you could make a check. So that's good enough. T-Hole, you would know that the glass eye is sort of famously a material component for a clairvoyant spell. Or as the lion people call it, sight beyond sight.
It seems he's using a glass eye, or he's clutching it, which is a common component for clairvoyance. It seems Zarius is attempting to see what is going on inside the sphere. It must have taken hold of him somehow.
How do you know it's taken hold of him? Is this normal for this spell?
Not that I'm aware of. Normally you have full cognitive abilities. It must be some interaction with whatever this is. I'm remembering something, the Book of the Wand, before we gave it away to those heathens. It mentioned something called the Potentium, some new source of magic, and described it as a black sphere. I'm wondering, this seems oddly familiar, or oddly similar to that.
Yeah, we should probably stop giving books away.
So this sphere may be a new form of magic.
That is what Mordenkainen thought when he was scrawling in his book.
Well, if Zarius tried to see into it, perhaps it is interacting with the spell somehow. Or perhaps it's even overwhelming him.
See, there must be some way to snap him out.
I'm going to get out my Bandor and cast Protection from Evil and Good on him. Maybe that would help him. I don't know.
You're muted.
So you cast it. It doesn't seem to snap him out of it.
Okay. Hmm.
Oh, come on.
Maybe we should just slap him.
Nimrod rubs his hands together.
That might just make it worse. What if it breaks his concentration, but he doesn't return? Or perhaps whatever magic is going on is there's some kind of backlash. The Coursix had mentioned something about that. She was concentrating on a spell to protect those within. Who knows what would have happened had she ceased concentrating? It might not have only affected those within, but there may have been something negative happened to her as well.
Maybe she was just full of crap.
I don't think she was. I believed her when she said that she had people within. I believed her when she was concentrating on a spell. I don't think she was trying to be deceptive about that.
Maybe whatever has detained the followers of this church have also her followers have also detained Zarius. Perhaps you don't need to enter the void to be consumed by it, or to at least be enthralled by it.
So you're saying he's already dead?
No, that's not
No.
what we're saying.
Saying he's currently indisposed.
We're saying we don't know one lick of what's going on. We're just spitballing here.
All right.
What,
So
what
you
do
see
we know?
Nimrod has stealthily tied a rope around Zarius's waist and now begins to untie it.
So we've seen Zarius go into trances before. I mean, is this completely out of the normal behavior for him?
I mean, I don't remember Zarius ever going into a trance quite like this. I mean,
Okay.
he is standing, so it's not exactly as if he's gone limp, but he's not responding to anyone here. So maybe he's just so deep into this spell that he can't hear what's going on around him.
I wouldn't. I don't think any of us want to be around Sirius when he wakes up and he's been standing for 2 hours on a bum leg.
Is there like a stick I can find, or maybe like on the cart there's some sort of like plank of wood?
There's definitely, there's still 4 hours worth of firewood on the cart. There really are no trees in the immediate area. Even if there were like dead ones, they clearly stripped those first. So there's nothing in sight, but there's the firewood.
I would grab some, a
And
log.
they're also staves. The people had staves with them.
Oh, even better. I would grab like a stave, and I would get close to, like, I would try to get as far away from the spear as I could to the length of the stave, and like enter it and like kind of poke it through, and then like look there and look back at Zarius.
So how much of the staff you're putting it into the sphere, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay, not into the taint. So how much of the staff are you putting in?
I would start with like, an inch. I would just
Right.
kind of like
Here's what I would say.
slowly.
It's a little bit, you get the sense initially like you're dipping it into molasses. Like there is a little bit of resistance as you pull it back out, but it comes back out. The more you put in, the more resistance you're getting as you try to pull it out. But once you get past about the halfway point on the staff, it's much more intense than just pulling it out of molasses. Like it's not just more surface area at this point. There is a lot more force pulling it in. So once you get to about halfway, you're going to have to make a strength check to even get it back out and not lose it and have it slip in.
I just wouldn't bother. If I can't pull it out, I would just kind of.
It's not like it's also not like it's overwhelming amounts of force, but at that stage, once half of it is in, something feels like it's pulling it in. So it's like DC 10 to pull it back out again.
I guess I give it a go. As long, I guess, if it doesn't feel like I'm being pulled with it.
As long as you hold on to the staff, yes. But it's the staff being pulled in.
All right, I'll give it a good yank to see if I can pull it out.
So yeah, you lose it and it gets sucked in, but you let go and only lose the staff.
What are
but
the
you're now only
staffs
there are
made
only
out of?
3 wood.
So I would report back. I'd come back, and then they would have seen. They would have seen this. It's like, as I progressively moved the staff in, I felt a force pulling it harder and harder. There's some sort of, I don't know.
So
This is well beyond anything I've ever come into contact with.
so I take one of the staffs, if they're made of wood, and go over to the fire and see if I can catch it on fire.
It will burn. It takes a bit for it to catch. It'll take several minutes really to get it like continue.
Okay.
If you want to get it burning so that it doesn't just go out when you pull it out of the fire.
Yes, correct.
So it'll take a couple minutes for that to happen.
Okay.
But it's a normal wooden staff. It'll burn.
Okay, good. And then I walk over and get close and see what happens to the fire.
To see what happens to what fire?
As I poke it into the black mass, the whatever this is.
So as you poke it in, nothing happens. It doesn't seem to react. When you pull it back out, the stick's not on fire anymore.
Okay.
but it is the same effect where you can feel it almost feels like it's stuck. In fact, you're sure if you stuck it in far enough and let go, you don't even think it would fall.
Lucharosi, maybe maybe you can try seeing how your Light of Asheros acts on this thing.
What do you mean, my Light of Asheros?
I don't know, like I've seen you engulf enemies in holy fire or something. Maybe you can engulf that thing. Maybe it'll burn or react in some way.
Are you suggesting I swing my sword into the sphere? Or my axe, rather?
I heard him say that you should smite the sphere, which doesn't actually seem like that bad an idea to me. Maybe it'll pop.
Yeah, don't you have something like some smite or something?
That's not quite how that works. I don't just summon fire and light from the sky. I need to connect with something to channel it through.
I think there's one more stave.
There are at least two more. I mean, actually, Aurelia didn't lose her staff. It's not on fire anymore.
I mean, okay. I'd hold my hand out to Aurelia's staff.
All right, hand it to you.
All right. I'll cast light upon it as just kind of a start.
Yep.
And so it kind of goes like a lightsaber, just boom. And then I'll stick it into the darkness. I'm not quite attacking the darkness yet. just diddling the taint.
I just imagine Lisa giving you all sorts of weird looks behind you.
Oh, she would if she weren't sound asleep.
She's now probably having all sorts of dreams about taints.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
The subtle suggestions in the background.
She has had her dreams influenced by the things that she hears me saying while I'm gaming.
Good. I thought you were going to say she has dreams about taints all the time.
Oh, wow.
So you stick this the staff with light cast on it in when you withdraw it, assuming how far in, or I guess, are you sticking it?
I mean, I'll go about halfway.
All right, so it's going to take a easy strength check to pull it back out again.
Okay.
So yeah, you can pull it back out. You see that where the light was cast, it's gone. The staff is there. The light is gone.
Did it pull the light fully from the staff then? Or just the part that was in there is no longer lit?
I tend to think of light as like a point that begins to glow, but for purposes of this, you said it was like all along the staff.
Yeah.
I would say it only took it off of the parts of the staff that were submerged into the sphere.
Okay. Yeah, when I think of light, I think that the entire object becomes a glowing. So as I pull it out, I'll be like, well, that's interesting. It clearly hasn't canceled the effect as it's still lit. I've never seen anything like this before. And I kind of show everybody what it looks like a half-lit staff.
Interesting.
So what happens then if we like, just to pick something at random, what if we stuck like half of the Rod of Lordly Might in there? Would it like demagic that half?
Well, we don't know if it's reacting to the magic or if it's reacting to the light.
That's fair, but it also took away the fire. So I was assuming that it was reacting just to energy in general. But I don't know for certain yet.
Can you try smiting it?
There's nothing to smite. There's nothing to strike.
I mean, strike the edge of the bubble.
Maybe Lucia Rossi, the character, would know where I do not. Could my smiting work like that? Like I just transfer the energy of the spell slot through the staff into the bubble?
I would say yes. I mean, you can't functionally miss a house, basically. So
Right.
I would say you could just poke something up against a house and spend a smite.
Right. But then it's like, you know, if you try to just tase the air, you're just going to get a bzz. It's not
Right.
going to really
And
do
in the same
anything.
way, I wouldn't. So if you were to like try to tase a house, it takes a lot of electrical damage to destroy a house.
Right.
So you wouldn't expect it to have an effect. In the same way, I don't know what you would expect to see happen if you sent a single smite into a giant black sphere
Yeah.
the size of a house.
Yeah. So I'm going to just tell who was asking about the smite? Was it T-Hole or was it Nimrod?
Nimrod was sort of interpreting what he thought T-Hole was asking.
Oh.
But it's T-Hole that was asking it.
Yeah, I don't think using a smite or trying to smite this thing is going to do anything to it. I mean, how effective would a dart be against an elephant?
I suppose that's fair. It seemed to work pretty well against those other creatures.
Well, why don't you try and stick one of your spectral arms into it?
Well, those are attached. I can't necessarily just drop them. They're a part of me. So if there's any effect that the sphere has on something that's a part of you, I guess I would find that out.
Why don't we go and get one of those carcasses, one of the bigger creatures, stick that in halfway. At least we could see if it's disintegrating flesh. Although we'll really only see if it's disintegrating flesh that's being stuck in halfway. It's possible that you have to get in further before it really does a lot of damage.
It's just a giant game of what happens when I poke it with this.
Right.
Yeah, I guess as long as we're waiting for Tony.
Well, I think that's...
Actually, why don't we take a 5-minute break? I have to go to the bathroom anyway.
All right.
Sure.